Today we're going to talk about something that can help you understand narcissists. A narcissist is a person who thinks too highly of themselves. This is not just regular self-love or confidence. It's a negative thing that can hurt those around them. Narcissists often don't care about other people's feelings. They crave being admired. They think they're better than everyone else. And they might try to trick others to get what they want. Knowing about these behaviors and why they happen can help us handle such people better. Here are 5 things that terrify a narcissist to their core. Firstly, a narcissist fears unpredictability. When they can't manipulate you, they are thrown off balance. It's like trying to play a game of chess, but all the pieces are moving of their own accord. They thrive on being able to predict your moves, your reactions, your feelings. They have this insatiable need to be in control, to be at the helm, steering the ship of your relationship. And they do this by carefully studying you, learning your habits, your triggers, your vulnerabilities. But what happens when their carefully laid plans and strategies fall apart? What happens when you become an enigma, a puzzle they can't solve? When you become unpredictable, their power begins to wane. The puppeteer loses control of the puppet. They are left floundering, unsure of their next move because they can't predict yours. They can't manipulate a situation if they can't predict the outcome. That's when they start to panic. Their ego, carefully constructed and painstakingly maintained, begins to crumble. Their self-worth, so deeply intertwined with their ability to control and manipulate, starts to falter. They are like a deer in headlights, frozen, not knowing which way to turn. The distress they feel is palpable. It's like watching a master chess player realizing they are on the brink of checkmate, with no moves left to play. But what terrifies them even more is the uncertainty. Not knowing what you're thinking, how you see them, whether you still idolize them, and most importantly, whether you are still under their spell. The fear of losing their hold over you is more terrifying than any horror movie. So, unpredictability can be a powerful tool against a narcissist. It's like a wrench thrown into their well-oiled machine. It messes up their game, disrupts their strategies, and most importantly, it weakens their grip on you. So if you want to unsettle a narcissist, be unpredictable. Keep them guessing, keep them on their toes. Because in the game of manipulation, unpredictability is your trump card. Secondly, narcissists are terrified of exposure. They are masters of illusion, creating a grand facade that conceals their true selves. This facade, this carefully crafted persona, is their armor against the world. It's their shield against the judgment and criticism they dread. They are not the charming, confident individuals they portray to the world. Instead, they are deeply insecure and fragile, hiding behind a mask of bravado and self-assuredness. How does this facade work? Well, it's all about perception. A narcissist's self-worth depends entirely on how others perceive them. They need to be admired, adored, even envied. They feed off the validation they receive, using it to prop up their fragile egos. But this need for constant admiration means they are also incredibly sensitive to criticism. A single negative comment can shatter their self-image, leaving them feeling exposed and vulnerable. Now imagine the terror that strikes a narcissist when their true self is revealed. When the world sees past the facade and witnesses their true nature, their weaknesses, their flaws. This is the exposure that terrifies them to their core. It's like a spotlight has been turned on, illuminating their darkest secrets, the ones they've worked so hard to hide. The thought of being seen for who they truly are is their worst nightmare. But why does this exposure scare them so much? Because it threatens their carefully crafted image. It undermines their authority. It punctures their inflated sense of self. It reveals them as the frauds they are. They fear the loss of control, the loss of power. They dread the shame and humiliation that comes with exposure. So if you ever find yourself dealing with a narcissist, remember this: they are not as strong or as invincible as they seem. Beneath their confident exterior lies a scared, insecure individual, terrified of being exposed. They are like the Wizard of Oz, hiding behind a curtain of illusion, desperate to maintain their image at all costs. Remember, a narcissist's greatest fear is that their true self will be revealed. Thirdly, a narcissist fears a person with a strong sense of self. Imagine being a sculptor, but the clay you're working with has its own will and refuses to be shaped as you desire. That's what it feels like for a narcissist when they encounter a person with a strong sense of self. Narcissists, you see, are like puppet masters. They thrive off manipulating others, bending them to their will and shaping their realities. But a person with a strong sense of self, they're a puppeteer's worst nightmare. They have a clear understanding of who they are, their values, beliefs, and most importantly, their worth. They don't need the validation of a narcissist to feel complete, which leaves the narcissist powerless and terrified. Narcissists prefer to play with softer clay, individuals who are unsure of themselves, who can be easily swayed and manipulated. They derive a twisted sense of pleasure from gaslighting their victims, making them question their reality, their beliefs, and even their sanity. It's all a game to them, a game of control. A person with a strong sense of self, however, is not so easily gaslit. They have a firmly grounded belief in their own experiences and perceptions. They trust their intuition, their gut feelings. So when a narcissist tries to redefine their reality, they resist. They question. They push back. This resistance is a direct threat to a narcissist's control. It shatters their illusion of power and superiority. They can't manipulate a person who knows who they are, who trusts themselves, who won't let their reality be twisted and warped. This is why a strong sense of self is such a potent weapon against a narcissist. It's a shield, a fortress that protects you from their manipulative tactics. It keeps you grounded in your reality, your truth. It gives you the power to say, no, this is who I am, this is my reality, and you can't change that. A strong sense of self is a powerful defense against a narcissist. Fourthly, a narcissist is terrified when you know how much they hate themselves. Narcissists are masters of disguise, often projecting a grandiose image of self-love and confidence. But beneath that facade, there's a deep-seated self-loathing that is both their driving force and their Achilles heel. To understand a narcissist, you need to peel back the layers of their behavior and see the self-hatred at its core. Every boast, every manipulation, every cruel word or action, it all stems from their own self-loathing. It's as if they're standing in front of a distorted mirror, hating the reflection they see, and then projecting that distorted image onto others. But here's the thing. When you understand this, you start to disarm them. You see, narcissists depend on others to validate their distorted self-image. They need you to believe their lies, to accept their manipulations, to react to their provocations. They need you to feed their ego and their self-loathing in equal measure. But when you understand that their actions are driven by self-hatred, you can step back. You can see their behavior for what it is, a desperate attempt to avoid facing their own self-loathing. You can choose not to engage, not to react, not to feed their ego or their self-hatred. And when you do that, you take away their power. A narcissist's power lies in their ability to manipulate your emotions, to make you doubt yourself, to make you believe their lies. But when you understand their self-hatred, you can see through their manipulations. You can hold on to your own truth. Remember, a narcissist's power over you diminishes when you understand their self-hatred. They become like a magician whose tricks have been exposed, still capable of putting on a show, but no longer able to fool the audience. And when a narcissist can't fool you, they can't control you. Lastly, narcissists are terrified of authentic people. Now you might wonder, what's so frightening about authenticity to a narcissist? Well, the answer lies in the very nature of narcissism itself. Narcissists live in a world of facades, mirages, and carefully constructed personas. They're experts at donning masks, changing colors like chameleons to fit into different scenarios and manipulate those around them. But authentic people? They're a whole different ballgame. Authentic people live and breathe honesty, they have a strong sense of self, they know who they are, and they're not afraid to show it. They don't bend to the whims of others, and they certainly don't dance to the narcissist's tune. Now imagine bringing such a person into a narcissist's life. Suddenly, the narcissist is faced with someone who isn't swayed by their charm, who doesn't buy into their lies, and who isn't afraid to call them out on their behavior. This is a nightmare scenario for a narcissist. It's like shining a light on a shadow. The shadow has nowhere to hide. Authentic people also have a knack for seeing through the narcissist's manipulative tactics. They can identify gaslighting, they can sense emotional manipulation, and they can see the narcissist's true intentions, no matter how well they're hidden. This makes them incredibly threatening to a narcissist, as they can't be controlled or influenced in the same way others can. Moreover, authentic people have a strong moral compass. They stand for what's right, they're not afraid to speak up, and they certainly won't let a narcissist trample over them. They're the whistleblowers who aren't afraid to expose the narcissist's true colors. So you see, authentic people are the bane of a narcissist's existence. They're the mirror that reflects the narcissist's true self, a reflection that narcissists are terrified to face. They're the wake-up call that shatters the narcissist's illusions, leaving them exposed and vulnerable. Being authentic and true to yourself is a powerful way to stand up against a narcissist. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, give thumbs up. For more videos like this, hit subscribe button